Hey guys, it's Jan, Not a Real Farm. So this morning I have been busy cracking eggs. I've already got 10 in the pan here. I've got about 70 in the bowl here. And what I'm going to be doing is taking these, opening them up obviously, scrambling them down into scrambled eggs, and then putting them out on a gigantic baking pan, and then freezing them so that I can separate them and put them on the 5 trays for the freeze dryer. So now I have to scramble these. Them all nice and baked in here, or fried in here, I guess you could say. I have not used any types of oils. I'm just going to put some pepper and some salt in here. I'm finding that the less greasy your food is, the easier it is to freeze dry. So there's no butter, there's no oils or anything added in here. It's just straight egg. And then I'm going to throw some pepper in here. Now I managed to squeeze about 40 medium-sized eggs in here in this first batch, so I still have about 30, I think I counted 33 eggs left, so I had a little bit more than what I originally said. But you'll be amazed at actually what these look like, because when they cook down and then you freeze dry them, they look really cool in the jars. It just looks like regular scrambled eggs just sitting there waiting for you. It's awesome. Okay, so I'm scrambling these down. Now that I've done that, what we're gonna do is, what you would normally do obviously, is move it around, move it around, move it around until it's done. And then basically what'll happen is we just dump them out on the big tray and we put them in the freezer and freeze them until I'm actually ready to separate them and put them on the freeze dry trays. So essentially now the eggs are ready. So we are going to be dumping them out onto a very big cookie sheet and filling this cookie sheet, of course, but not over the rim, because this cookie sheet actually is the perfect height for me to judge for my trays. So I'll be able to fit basically 1, 2, 3 batches of eggs on here, which will go way past 70 eggs. And then what we do is I just actually pluck this right into my freezer and I let it basically freeze for half the day before I break it up and then put it on the trays. So that's what we're doing. So once we've dumped it on the tray, what you basically have to do is just break it down so that the pieces get really small, and then make sure that you spread it out over the entire baking pan so that you can get the last of the eggs that you've got left on there. So that's pretty much it. So we just break it up just like you normally would, just to make sure that it gets into small little bits and it covers the whole pan. And then we can add a second layer of eggs, and then into the freezer it goes. Okay guys, so I have cooked down basically 73 eggs, and as you can see, it doesn't even cover the pan. And basically all we do from here is we just put it in the freezer, and when you actually break it up, it breaks up really easy to put it on the freeze dryer pans. They will still come out after you freeze them looking the same way you put them in. So it looks like scrambled eggs are sitting on your shelf waiting for you. They hold their shape. They don't, they're not like my egg cups where you're just basically scrambling it over heat already because they're not cooked. These ones are cooked, so basically the way they go in is the way they come out. So it kind of looks cool on your shelf. But basically you can add anything at this point. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll put onions. I've already got a little pepper, but I'll put some onions. I'll sprinkle some cheese over it, just a very light topping of cheese, because some people like cheese in their scrambled eggs, just to give it that, extra little pop. And it freeze dries very, very well. Cheese is really easy to freeze dry. I have no issues with that. And I've done actually a few jars of shredded cheese, so it works very well. So these are going to be in the freezer. We're going to break them up, throw them on the trays, and I'm going to say probably about 35 hours later, we'll probably have 5 trays of scrambled eggs. Okay, so I have successfully squeezed both of these big baking pans in the freezer. So of course here are my scrambled eggs. So these will be in the freezer for a few hours. And I just have it set up so that I'm ready to throw the frozen bananas in there as well. So we have 2 baking trays full of food we're going to be throwing in the freeze dryer. I'm going to probably say I might have a spare pan left over to put these on. I'm pretty sure I can probably cramp these on 4 trays and get it done. But yep, so that's what we're going to do, guys. We're just going to leave these in the freezer for a couple of hours so they harden up. And then after that, what we're going to do is we're going to throw them in and see how long they take to freeze dry. Okay guys, so really, really quickly, here is the finished product of the scrambled eggs. They look exactly the way that we put them in, and they come out exactly the same way. So these now will be put into one of my big mason jars and thrown in with an oxygen absorber. And then we're just simply going to put it away on the shelf. So excellent results with scrambled eggs. I'm really, really happy about that. They're dry as a bone. Like I said, they're as light as styrofoam. And I left these ones plain. We like our eggs differently sometimes. So if you leave them plain, then when you reconstitute them, you can add in basically anything you want. So maybe some cheese, onions, whatever you want. So there you go, guys. Just wanted to give you basically a really quick tutorial on how we actually make our scrambled eggs and then put them away for the future. And that's about it. So if you like the information that you see, don't forget to give a thumbs up to get it out in the algorithm, or subscribe, or see you soon.